What's going on, guys? So today we're gonna go ahead and review the RGM 89DE Conroy's Jagan Echoes type. Echoes. Yeah. All right. So this is definitely my first Jagan as we went over with the unboxing, and I'm really looking forward to this one. It's a really cool looking build. I like the colors, the weird kind of brownish, greenish color. I don't even know what to really describe it. Obviously, the box is closer to a brown. It's really cool. But yeah, you get a great shot here of the Conroy's Jagan right here. And I guess there's tons of different Jagan types. I think there's like 5 or 6 at least in the HG line. Actually, they're probably all in the HG line. That's a stupid thing to say. You got a shot here where he's got his visor down. He's got his big old Desert Eagle looking pistol hanging out right there. You got Gundam Unicorn emblem up here. And of course, Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn there. HG Universal Century as it is. Bandai 2017. This package contains one set of HG144 Conroy images of illustrated purpose on Alright, and Bandai logo there. Come down here, you get nothing. Come over here, you get a repeat of box art and BandaiHobby.net. Come down here, you get nothing. And come over here, you get little warnings right there. Do not stick a Jagan in your 3-year-old's face. It will probably hurt them. And do not eat anything in this box. Plastic is not edible. And then you got the poly bag little guy with the toilet. Top cover, don't know what that is. Things made of plastic. Model kits ages 8 and up. Manufactured by Bandai. And at 1,800 yen. I wish. And of course, we get no artist because realistically, it's not really box art. It's like screenshot and then picture of the actual thing. It's P Bandai box. It's what it is. But let's go ahead and get this guy built. Now, sadly, there will not be a build montage for this one. It's just easier to not, realistically. But you guys got to watch me build it on the live stream. If you didn't, I will put a link to it right up here. And the little ping thingy comes up there. Go watch the live stream, watch me build at least the upper torso of this guy. So let's go ahead and get to looking at him. Alright guys, now that we've got this guy built, it's pretty cool. Now I will say, this was a very different build from pretty much everything I've built so far. Just the hands are about the only thing that was like anything else I've built. Now, of course, he does structurally have a lot of things very similar to the other gyms that we've looked at before, because, I mean, more or less it is kind of the later generation of the gym. It is an RGM. Now, this thing is actually really neat. It does have some issues, but the appearance is definitely not one of them. This thing is awesome. I love this kind of grayish, brownish, greenish color. I mean, it's very military, and I guess this was the Echoes colors, which totally makes sense. Now, one of the issues, I'll go ahead right now, is all of these little areas that need to be painted all along here, inside the boosters, like that. These little thingies here on the legs, those are all a huge pain in the butt, realistically. I wish they could have given you stickers for that, because this would need to be like a white or a creamish color. At least from images, it didn't look like it was the same color as this. Up here, it was an absolute nightmare, because the part that needed to be white, as you can see, is super thin. That's about as clean as I could realistically get it, and it's very just not. This is about the best one I've got, and it's not even on the front, so that sucks. But other than that, I really did dig this. I mean, I enjoyed trying to make it look better, and honestly, it does need it. It needs the color separation, and inside the boosters, I could have spray painted those. I hand painted those. Though they look a little bit like a Solo cup, I think. It's kind of funny. Somebody paint that red with a white interior, make it a Solo cup. That'd be perfect. Now, this guy does, of course, come with some stickers that you don't have to apply, but they're there. So you get the little Earth Federation stickers, like the little logo there. Man, why is that having a hard time focusing? Focus. I'm not zoomed in, right? No, I'm not. Weird. Okay, so little Federation logo there. EFSF, the Echoes little logo there. Actually, it's pretty cool. I like that. I went for 007, not for James Bond, like you would think, but they didn't have two ones. I wanted to go with a 117 because he looks very much like Master Chief or like a Spartan from Halo. So 007, close enough. But so I've got the stickers on the front here. This one is technically a sticker on the crotch. You could paint the little V-Finny thing there if you want to. I just went ahead and went with the sticker, make my life easy. On the back side here, you get the Echo stickers on each side of the back of the shoulders. This is the only one they told you where to put it. I just went ahead and mirrored it on that side. And then you got the logo there on the, just top of the booster. Another thing I did for a tiny little bit of detail, went ahead and added some gray right there around the edges there. Same thing right here on the side holster. Got a little bit of gray to break that up. Add a little bit of silver right there with some gray on the inside of the joints. Same thing here, just no silver. And that's kind of it, like realistically, for the little extra details I did. I mean, oh, bottom of the feet. Totally forgot about the bottom of the feet. Funny story. I painted those, and then 5 seconds later forgot, and I just went bloop, just set it down. And then I went back later, I was like, oh crap, there was fresh paint on the bottom of that. Luckily, it didn't mess anything up, didn't get on the table or anything. Obviously, I don't do any paint work or anything here on my white set, but yeah. I'm dumb. Oh, main stickers right here for the visor. The only thing that really sucks, they give you a couple visors, and you have to pick one, and you have to put those stickers on it. So with this one, I went with the cool up visor. I also really appreciate the nice pink visor that he's got right there. I really do dig this guy. I love the details on it. I love that. Well, I kind of love the fact it comes with an enormous amount of options. Like, okay, if you follow the instructions directly, you will end up with this. And this is perfectly fine. But there is a buttload of extra parts. Let's go ahead and look at that. Set him back. So, first and foremost, standard jig and visor. That's actually the up visor, if I'm looking at that correctly. So you can totally just yoink this one off if I can. And it's pretty cool how that works. I really wish they left that open to let some light piping in, but it is what it is. Yeah, it's the right way. So this is what the standard one would look like, which is actually still really cool. I do like that. And then you have the down visor, which I didn't even clean the nubs off. The down visors fit a little bit weirder, but they do fit. Once again, looks really neat. I need to clean those nubs. They're going to drive me nuts if I don't. Gotta be real careful pulling these off because they are just on a clear plastic tab. And that is a very, very tight fit, guys. Like, that's going to give me problems here. See, look. Yeah, just snugs into the back of the head there. I don't want to pull on any of the small tabs, though. Come on. Part of me wants to glue the visor into the head. Which, actually, while we're here, let's look at that. So you get the single kind of camera right there. And I always paint those silver. I did try to add a little bit of chrome sticker behind it just to add effect, but it would not take. It was really being annoying. Alright, I'm going to pull this out off camera. Alright, so I got that out of there. Wow, that was rough. Okay, so you get one other option, and that is the down lens for this guy. Now, of course, they only give you the one sticker, so I went ahead and hand painted that. That's just my favorite dark gray ever, with a little bit of red metallic marker, slightly wiped away, giving this kind of cool look. Now, it's a little bit sloppy, I totally admit, but it still works. So that's what the down visor looks like, and that's actually really, really neat. Now, I feel like I need to paint the spare ones to match. Now, on top of those options, you get other options for armor. So, instead of the shoulder with the nice big knife here, you can have a plain front matching shoulder, just like that. And they are just two halves sandwiched together, so, not too hard. Now, I like that there's this kind of gap right in there, and I feel like there's options where there's things stuck in that. Like, it'd be cool if you had a knife that was fake sticking through that. which may or may not be an option on another kit. I don't know. Another option, standard one, comes with these cool missile pods, very similar to the Full Armor Unicorn, or even the, what is it called? Jesta. So that's pretty neat. And that would go right here, of course, on the side skirt. I'm not entirely certain what this is. It's just, maybe it's just a whole different variant, and it does just plug straight in there like you would any other side skirt. So yay for variants. What else do we got, guys? Oh, we have entirely different crotch. So obviously there's a version that uses this crotch, and you can see it's similar, but there would be front skirts. Oops, I'm throwing things. Now part of me feels like this is more like an actual gym crotch, where you would have the front side skirts and a very flat panel right there. So there gotta be something different there, but I love the fixed skirts on there, and they just blend in. I really love that, in fact. But that's cool that they give you a whole other option. Like I said, there's got to be, half a dozen versions of these guys, and they're all a little bit different. Now this piece, I honestly don't know what it is. It's not in the instructions. It's obviously meant to sit on something, either a forearm or shoulder. I clearly have no clue. There's nowhere that it goes on this guy, so I'm at a loss for that. Now, as for another option from this to a standard Echoes type, you get the outside of the left leg, where this one is actually got the tiny little plug-in for the gun. So, minor differences, but not going to affect the overall everything if you don't use it. So if you want the standard type of Echoes Jagan, you can do that. Now, one thing he does come with that you don't use, but you can totally build, spare head. It's a different type of head. Now, to really make use of this, you'd have to take that one apart, which let's go ahead and do that. And there we go. So this would be the other head. Now, I assume this is probably for the Stark Jagan or one of the other ones, and it's a little bit different. So you can see the difference here. Totally different kind of tactical antenna. This one has kind of a camera on it, and you don't get the other one on this side. Just get kind of a normal vent. You also get this whole new front section right here. Mind you, the head is shaped exactly the same, so you could totally use any of these other visors over that, but I kind of dig that one. Now, I'm not going to stick with this, but I'm going to stick with it at least till the end of this review, because I don't feel like taking that head apart. And that'll just stick on there so very nicely. Though when I took this apart, the whole neck joint completely popped out on me. Crazy. Now, as for accessories other than the spare parts, you get part of the E-Runner. I know that sounds really strange, but when I read it, I was like, what the heck? Why would you need this? And realistically, it's for some of these parts. So you got this little bitty tab here, and you can just plug your spare visor on like that, and then you have a spare hand, which they do give you. You get this cool new expressive open hand without a back to the hand. That's the only thing that sucks. There is no specific back that comes with this hand, and you can just plug it in like this. So you get a weird spare parts runner. Like, I've never seen this before. I mean, it's a cool idea. I just don't understand why they did it. So, but that's pretty cool. Now, of course, there's plenty of weapons with this guy, so let's go ahead and look at those. You do get a pretty sweet little machine gun. This thing is, of course, just two parts slapped together. I don't even think... Okay, yeah, I think the barrel tip does go on. Everything else is just two different parts. Now, I didn't add any extra paint to this. I don't really plan on using it, but you totally can. He does have a couple trigger hands. Or, I'm sorry, well, he's got one trigger hand. And it's busy, because it's holding his more awesome gun. So this thing, I'll set the machine gun down. I love this thing. It is so Desert Eagle. It's amazing. And I did add some of my favorites, dark gray, to it, just to give it that two-tone, and I think it's just beautiful. Look at that thing. And you do get the camera sticker for it right there. And then the trigger hand, it's just awesome. I love this thing. And of course, like any other one, you just plug it in to the forearm like so. Now, unfortunately, he is apparently only right-handed when it comes to his guns, but that is really, really awesome. Now, that gun does have a totally separate purpose in that it plugs into I almost said driver's side, the left side of the leg. And it just has this big old tab right there, and you just plug it on like that. That is pretty cool. I love that. Except for me, I would think that would make it really, really easy to lose that gun. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the machine gun in his hand just for fun. You do get a big old tab. It goes right into the palm like so. That's one of the better hands I've seen from an HG. I like that. Really, really holds onto the weapons in a way that I wish the IBO kits would do. So that's an upgrade IBO could use. That's pretty awesome. And of course you do get a couple sets of hands. You get the standard hands like so, which is also very good for holding a beam saber, because why wouldn't you have one? Of course it is in the lovely same matching color scheme there, and you get the cool nice light pink beamy beam. So that will just insert into the hand like so, and he can look just totally awesome. So machine gun, beam saber, just yeah, I'm awesome. He knows he's awesome. Now, cool thing with beam saber, you do get weapon storage for that. So you just unplug the beam blade, which is really in there. That is a good snug fit. Now you come over here to the other side, and you get this cool beam holster. You just slap the handle down in there and insert it. Now I will say, it is a huge pain to get that out of there. I had to get a knife, like shove it down and just kind of pry it out to get it out of there. But I do really dig that. I love that it just chills in there and he can just relax like that. Now speaking of beam sabers, you get a shorter blade. Now, why would you get a shorter blade, Shoki? Oh, that's because of one of the other cool things he has. He has this awesome beam emitter right here in his forearm. So you just take the beam and you jam it right in there. And now he basically has a beam tonfa like the unicorns do. That is so cool. I really do dig that. And if you really want to go crazy, you can do that. Yeah, just double beams of death. Yeah, you can just slice and dice and make Julian Zaku's. Now, on top of the slicing weapons, he also has a very good stabby weapon, as of course is laid out right here on his left shoulder. He's got this awesome, like, Rambo knife, or combat knife is realistically what it would be. The only thing that's sucky is he doesn't have the articulation to actually reach over and get it. But a little bit of trickery here, guys. This is not a full knife. This is not a knife. This is a knife. Yeah, I went there. So you do get a fake handle for whenever he's not using it, so you just jam it up in there. Though you do have to paint it with some of your favoriteest dark gray ever to make sure that it at least would match the normal one. I went ahead and painted them so they did match. But this one is cast in gray, this one is cast in that color, so you kind of have to make do. But this is just a really cool weapon. You guys can see I added just a little bit of silver to the sharp side of the blade there. It's pretty neat. And of course, the dark gray on the back side. You get the, kind of, cutting edge on the back and the slicing edge on the front. Very good stabby weapon. Now, I have not used this yet, so I assume you just stick it in his hand like so. I can't see. It's like I'm holding it in a way I can't see the actual hand. Okay, because with the with kind of that base, that pommel on there, it's really hard to do this. I could have taken a hand off and made my life easy, but no, I got to do it the hard way. Good job, Shoki. Good job. Yeah, I'm referring to myself in the third person in a review. Okay, stay there. Okay, so this knife is proving to be the most annoying part of this. Come on. There we go, finally, jeez. Alright, so there's the hand holding the knife. It looks pretty sweet. Not gonna lie. Just for stabbing people right up and close. It's like, hey man, I could stab you. Now you can totally simulate this look. It's close. I mean, once again, he can't quite get there, but it's close. That's pretty awesome. I'm going to take a picture of that. Did you see that? Nope? Okay. Now, of course, being Unicorn, you have to expect that he has at least one other weapon, right? Bazooka. Because of course he would have a bazooka. Why not? Now, I've never seen a bazooka that has two cartridges. I'm just assuming that one of them is spares. I don't understand. Because obviously things come out of this end and only meant to be facing forward, so I have no idea. Somebody tell me. I have no idea. But you can see the trigger hand holds it very nicely. You get a little bit of rock in the actual handle there. You can see I added a little bit of my favorite Dark Gray Ever, a little bit of silver paint, a little bit of red paint there on the actual camera. And he can hold it as you would do. Now this is of course the first time I'm trying to use the bazooka, so let's see if he can actually function with it. He does not have a angled wrist like a lot of them do for bazookas, so this will be interesting. I don't want to break anything. Come on. Straighten out your weapon. Okay, so that's about as good as that's going to get, but actually that's not bad at all. So there you get Mr. Jagan. Mr. Jagan holding his awesome bazooka. Now there's a trigger, but it's not exactly holding it, but that's actually pretty cool. Now, I think I mentioned it a minute ago, he has no other kind of weapon storage. His handheld weapons, he can, do all of those, but none of the guns or anything like that. So that leads me to believe, like in a lot of these battles, they don't need to have them. They'll just take them off their enemies. As we learned in Unicorn, everybody pretty much uses the same weapons anyway, so you can always just pick up a weapon off the battlefield, even if it's your enemies, and just use it. Now, as if that wasn't everything, he does, of course, have one more big accessory. The shield. Because you can't have a gym without a shield. You can't have anything in Unicorn without a shield. So you do get this nice, really nice two-tone shield here. Got to turn it so it's not reflecting. Nice two-tone gray and kind of olive green shield here. You get the Echoes logo there, 007 number to match, and then the, Federation logo there. And I love that it's a missile launching shield. I love that effect. I don't know why. It's like point the shield, shoot weapons. I'll always take that. And you do get the standard kind of UC arm mount for the shield. That just plugs into the forearm somewhere back in there. And boom, he has shield. Now, he's not really keen on holding it, mostly because of the knife. So it gets a little bit weird when trying to get around the knife handle. I wish that could rotate a little bit. But he can totally use his shield. And you got two positions on it, of course, if you want to move it to the back of the forearm, like so. You can totally do that. Get a little more out of the way. Okay, so let's go over articulation real quick. It is a fairly new UC model. I say fairly new, I mean it's Unicorn, so it's not super old. He does not have the standard polycap turkey neck. He actually has a hinge and a ball joint, so he can come forward that far. He can look back that far. The head can rotate, although it is very, very stiff on that ball joint. It's not going to go all the way around, but you can get about 180. You can look left and right, and I like that. You can see the visor. That's really good. So that's one reason I wish I got that chrome back there, because then, that would shine really, really nice. Now, the shoulders are very different, so you can get a lot of vertical reach, because they come up like this. So he can do this very well, but you have almost no forward. You get a little bit, but that's it. Just a tiny bit of forward, like shrug mode there. You do go all the way around very nicely, both sides. Now, one thing he has a hard time with, because of the way the shoulders are designed, the shoulders are actually encapsulated within the armor. So you have to maneuver the shoulder armor first, like down and out of the way. Then you can move the arm, and then you can get your rotation. But with that extra thing in the chest, you can get a nice high teacher way up in here. Like that. Except, like I said, it's really hard. I really wish this had just standard way it would work. I mean, just it's very different, and I don't know that I dig it, to be totally honest. Now, you do get bicep rotation, like usual. Go all the way around like that. Single jointed elbow, that gets you just barely over 90 degrees. It's actually pretty decent. I like that. And as we've seen already, just standard HG wrist. You don't really get any kind of ab crunch. That's just kind of how the ball joint is. You can rotate, not all the way around because of the backpack. So, I mean, you pop the backpack off, you can go all the way around, no problem. Side skirts, they're just polycap mounts as usual, so you can get a good butterfly there. Now, these legs are the most disappointing thing about this. They are just the kind of stupid ball joints like that. It's just a big T-joint right there in the middle. No Van Damme, no Jean-Claude going on here. You do get some nice twisty motion like that, but I really wanted to be able to get a little bit more dynamic posing, outward. That's very annoying. You also, of course, don't really get any thigh rotation. You get a little bit, but unfortunately, it's the wrong direction. I mean, look, he can turn inward like he's got to pee really bad. But why is that a thing? I mean, I want it to rotate. That kind of sucks, realistically. Now you do get almost a double jointed knee. It's definitely more of a single joint, but it actually has some very nice motion. It is a little bit down here. You can see it's a partial knee joint. It's not ridiculous, but it's actually pretty good. So I'll call it 1.5. Yay. Ankle joint is actually pretty good. So you got it, mounted up in there, so you can get some good front to back, side to side pivot is actually very nice. No toe point. I really wish I could have given us some toe point. Or like folding or something. You can come forward like that for some apparent reason. But, I mean, realistically, his posing gets limited by what the legs and the arms can't do. And that really does annoy me. I mean, I really like this kit. I just wanted to have a little bit more articulation. You get a tiny bit more with these cool little thrusters back here. So these are just kind of floppy. I mean, they hold in well. They're not super floppy. You get a little bit here in the main booster cone. These wiggle. I don't know if they're supposed to, but they wiggle. Oh, yeah, you get the ones down there too. But yeah, that's about it articulation-wise. And, it's a shame that such a really cool kit, is limited by such dumb things. Like, I really wish they had a very different kind of leg joint. I wish they had something more akin to the way the IBO legs work. You can do full-on splits. You can really, really stretch those guys out. Let me see here. With even the Thunderbolt gym that I have laying around here. You got the whole open top of the thigh. Then the hip joint is all right there. So you can totally get him splayed out. This one has almost solid legs all the way up to the hips. Now let's look at since we're doing comparisons now, compare him to the Gym Sniper. So this is also, just like the other gym. Top of the leg is open. You get that full hip joint there. You can really kick that guy out. But here's the fun part. Look at the huge size difference between these guys. Mind you, this is like 0080, this is 0096. So 16 years of development here. There's going to be a difference. And of course, in Unicorn, things tend to get a little bit bigger. But that's fine. You can see quite a bit, same kind of shoulder thrusters, stuff like that. Backpack, very, very different. But this was not a space model, so that makes sense. But yeah. I did these back to back, and yeah, there are definitely similarities, at least in how the kit is, or the work the kit needs, I should say. Both of these are very, very different kits. I hadn't built anything like either one of these, but the sheer amount of work that needed to go into these thrusters and these thrusters, the extra paint work that was necessary, all the red on this guy, all the gray and white on this guy, just wow, But, I mean, the new upgrades to the way these things look is so cool. I really wish it was slightly brighter. I have to get a Stark for that, I guess, and, to be all nice, bright, and pretty. Okay, so, in conclusion, this guy is really, really cool. It was a fun build. I mean, mind you, it took a lot of time and effort to put in the extra details, but you know what? It's always worth it in the end. I really do dig this guy. You probably do with like a tiny bit of weathering, maybe down the line, but I might get a normal Jagan for that. So everybody says, man, with enough Jagans, you could build pretty much any variation you want. And I'm believing that just because of the sheer amount of parts that came with this one alone. If you notice, I swapped the head back on this guy. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. But that's great. Now, if you guys are new here, make sure you like and subscribe. Check out all the other videos that I do, not just Gunpla, but all the other fun, nerdy stuff I do on Shoki Quickies, like Transformers, World of Nintendo lines, fun, kooky artwork, and stuff like that. But otherwise, yeah, plenty of Gunpla going around, guys. As for right now, no clue what Master Grade Monday is going to be. Maybe I'll let you guys decide real quick. So we've got Gundam Unicorn. We've got a couple other Zaku 2s. We've got Char Zaku 2. We've got Freedom, Strike Freedom, Destiny, Impulse, any of those. New Gundam. You guys pick something from those five. Let me know what you want to see down below in the next couple days. I'll try to get that reviewed out by Sunday so we can have another Master Grade Monday, which has been lacking. And I'm sorry for that, guys. But I hope you have enjoyed this review. And remember, as always, keep on building, or Jagan will be very, very unhappy. See you later, guys.